Hello and welcome to the Through the Decades December 2025 Premodern Monthly, coming to you from Through the Decades in Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks to some snowstorms and a few scheduling hiccups, we only had 9 players come out to this event, but we'll still have 4 rounds of Premodern gameplay for you. Along with me, we'll have Austin Zachary on the horn for this and other matches from this event. Also, as you may be able to see in this screenshot, we had one of our community members offer up some pretty sweet altered Christmas themed dark rituals as additional prizes for this event. Now, not photographed is the ninth place pity card, which is another altered dark ritual, but this time from 5th edition. However, today we'll be showcasing the round one matchup between myself, Benjamin Tash, on Jun's Survival Infestation, and Jeff S., who is on the Phyrexian Devourer deck. And let's get to those deck lists right now. All right, and we've got the Jun Survival list here that I said I was playing. It is a Survival Zombie Infestation list. Now, actually, I was not the first one in my local area to play it. Austin, you played this before I did, so give me a little bit of insight on this.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more of a aggressive slanting version of a survival of the fittest list. You've got stuff like the wild mongrels and the arrogant worms. They get down on the board pretty quickly and put the beat down on your opponent. So you want to try to get into the red zone as quickly as you can. You've got the duress cabal therapy package to help keep your opponent kind of just off kilter just long enough for your big beefy monsters to come in and do some hurting on their life total. If you need to go a little grindier, you have the zombie infestations to combo with your squeeze and your Kravikan horrors to build an insurmountable amount of zombies to beat them down with.
The Kravikan Horror actually has that nice caveat where it triggers at the end of each turn. So if you have ways to put multiple creatures into the graveyard in a turn, you can discard the Kravikan Horrors, and if you can get something on top of it, they come back at the end of the turn, so you can do it again on your opponent's turn. Now, it is a little dangerous, of course, because if you get it stranded under, say, something that got wastelanded or a gemstone mine, then you're stuck unless you can exile cards from your graveyard, say, with a Withered Wretch. But otherwise, it is a nice way to just grind out that card advantage. Also, as old Legacy players will be able to tell you, the Survival of the Fittest package with Basking Root Wallas and Arrogant Worms, while it's not the Vengevine combo that it used to be, you do get to do a little bit of an imitation of it in Premodern, which is less powerful, but Premodern is less powerful than that Legacy format was anyways, and it's still very powerful. So I'm a big fan of it. The sideboard's a little weird, I won't lie. Some of the cards in there make sense. Bone Shredder, Withered Wretch, the Naturalizes, Aromancer, Saba's Web, Graveborn Muse, absolutely love. It didn't come up in this event, but it was fantastic whenever I've played it previously. Just being able to grind out some extra zombies and finding myself with 3 or 4 extra cards in my hand were fantastic. I was tinkering with a couple cards. Tortured Existence I saw from some Japanese deck lists for Survival and Infestation. It's a little weird, didn't come up, looked like fun. And then Goblin Pyromancer is just a delightful card to play against goblins, especially in survival lists. This is an old Legacy holdover too, back when Legacy was swarmed by goblins in 2005, 2006. So that's why I'm playing it here, because a little bit of nostalgia, and also it's just a good card if you run into the goblins matchup. However, it won't be
Yeah.
doing us a lot of good against this round, which is Jeff on the Tinker Devourer deck. All right, and here we've got Jeff's list of his Tinker Devourer list. He only sent me a deck list, so we're working off a Mox field here, but it is still perfectly legible. It's a pretty bog standard list, except the Sylvan Libraries look unique. I won't lie. However, Jeff did say that he wanted to switch them over into Miri's Guiles.
Yeah. Looking at this, like you're saying, it looks fairly standard, but I do like the addition of a Sylvan Ivory or Miri's Guile into this list. All you're trying to do is trying to get A and B combo together. So any ways to help filter the top of your deck to find A plus B, I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, it looks like we've got what? Let's see here. 4, 8. So we've got 8 permanent, if you're counting Gemstone Mine as a permanent. Source of Green. Oh, Yavimaya Coast as well. So that's 10. Plus
Anecdotes.
the
Yeah,
4 Chromatic
yeah.
Sphere. So that's 14-ish sources for that. That seems reasonable to be able to jam
That's
one green card
yeah,
and
that's
only the
great.
Naturalize out of the board.
Yeah. No,
So
I like the ideas
so
here.
I like that. The sideboard here, I don't normally play this list, but it looks pretty stock. I like the split of Blue Blast and Hydro Blast, and
Yeah.
Power Blast, Red Blast. It is far less
Oh,
likely that you'll need to split the blue blasts, because if you have someone that's playing meddling mage and you need to bring in blue blast against them, they just
it,
they just got you. Okay, like there's not a deck that
they're
you're
on
going
the
to be seeing
solution.
enough
Happen.
red. Yeah, you've already won against the solution, but the solution is not playing enough red cards for you to worry about that on top of needing your blue blasts and hydro blast to play around the meddling mage. So I think that's pretty safe there. The Power Blast and Red Blast make perfect sense as the split there to play around the meddling mage. The Naturalize also another added benefit of having the green splash. Otherwise, looking pretty good. The Phyrexian Processor is a good juke. Just being able to
Yeah.
tinker out turn two, turn three, and then just start making 6/6s every turn. Some decks just cannot beat a 6/6. So they're like, okay, I've got my Gaia's Blessing in here. I've got my Circle of Protection red to stop the fling. What do we do? Okay, well, I'll just make a pile of 6/6s. How do you kill that? It's another angle for the deck to attack from. And I really like that here. All right, and it looks like we are getting into round one here. It looks like we've got keeps. I don't think we've mulliganed at all. It looks like we're both on 7. We're starting off with a Birds of Paradise, so having a little bit of mana acceleration to help me get going in the early stages of the game. We don't know what Jeff's on yet, because this is round 1. But seeing Ancient Tomb into Sky Diamond seems pretty clear what we're running into, either a Stacks list or the Devourer Tinker deck.
Yeah, not too many decks run Ancient Tomb into Sky Diamonds. But it looks like you've got yourself a good start as well with that Zombie Infestation into a Guy's Cradle.
That's
You could start pumping out a bunch of tutus here quickly, putting uh, Jeff's life total into danger, especially with him having his Ancient Tomb being his only mana as of right now.
yeah, being able to drop a bunch of creatures and then generate a bunch of mana off of that seems pretty solid. I think at this point I may have an Arrogant Worm in my hand, and I was trying to remember if the rules worked correctly for that. For me to discard, have the creature in play, and then make the mana. It doesn't work that way, but
Yeah,
I was
unfortunately
trying to
not.
remember that. I can see here I've got it looks like a City of Brass, a Squee, and an Arrogant Worm in hand, I think is what I saw from my side. Jeff's keeping his
Okay,
hand a little close to the chest, so we can't really see that much. Also, to put, oh, okay, it looks like a pair of gemstone mines
that's what I'm seeing.
is
Yeah,
what I am seeing. Now, we'll say this lovingly, but Jeff is very deliberate with his plays, so we'll have a lot of time to include our insights here as Jeff thinks through his every decision he makes in this game.
looks like the first one he's going to make is starting off this gemstone mine. Let's see if he has a good follow up for his turn one Sky Diamond.
I mean, he's got 4 mana, and no, it looks like he's just going to pass. Oh, all right, double squee. That's a
That's a
delightful
good
start.
start. That's a great start.
So there we are. When we're talking about getting him under the gun, I'm generating a 2/2 every turn. Now I can safely, I think, make this Arrogant Worm. Are we... Okay, we're just playing a Mongrel.
We're playing the dog. Okay.
So this is exactly what I want to be doing against him. If I don't have any disruption, especially in the blind, is just trying to be as aggressive as possible. Let's see, I've got what,
Mhm.
one, two, 3 creatures in play, so I can definitely make another 2/2 and a 4/4. I'll lose the pump on the Mongrel, but I don't think I care right now because next turn I can attack
Yeah,
for, let's see here, so that's going to be 2, 3, 4,
I see. I believe
5,
12.
6. Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Especially again with Jeff losing 2 life for this ancient tomb. Oh, but that's a tinker. That
But
could
we've got a
be
Tinker, and
we
I
could be
think I
lights out
saw a red
here.
card in his hand. Yep. I said, show me.
So we got Devourer and the Fling.
Yep. And there's the
Yep.
fling. And I'm basically telling him to add up to 20 for me so I can see cards in his list.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing to see as well, just in case. Like in our situation here at Jeff, he has Sylvan Library. You may not know that because that's not exactly a stock thing.
So,
If
hey,
you see
there's the
that, yeah,
Sylvan
you see it
Library
right
right
there.
there.
So now you know there's Sylvan Libraries.
Yeah, I'm just explaining. So he's trying to be very deliberate with what he's doing. Like, Jeff, I'm dead. Okay, buddy, I get it. Just show me 20 mana cost from your deck so I can see some cards out of here.
So for everybody that doesn't understand that as well, when Phyrexian Devourer hits 7 power, it has a trigger go on the stack that kills the Phyrexian Devourer. But with that trigger on the stack, you can still just respond to it by eating the top card of your library again and just growing it to whatever size you need it to. In this case, the 20 life that Ben had to fling the Devourer at him while that trigger is still on the stack. So
Yeah.
that trigger is only just an annoyance to click through more than an actual hindrance to the card.
Exactly. That card can keep going. That's why that card is so difficult to interact with as well. If you try to use any removal spell on it, you can still just in response do it because it is, if I remember correctly, it is 0:, and then
Yes.
that's it. It's just the activation is free, so you just get to keep going, which is allows for a lot of combo potential with it for the Hermit Feb list or even the Devourer list, the Tinker that is. So
Yeah.
as we go to sideboards, we're actually going to take a look here and see exactly what we think should be coming in. Although you can see Jeff is pulling some cards here, but we will actually take a look directly at the sideboards here. So let's take a look at mine first. All right, so looking back at my deck list here, seeing cards that we should bring in. Now, one of the things that we didn't see in game one is there are two ways that the Tinker Devourer deck tends to kill people. It's either with Pling or with Altar of Dementia. So if I had something like Gaia's Blessing, it'd be wonderful here. However, I don't, so it's not the point here. But that would be a good card for me if I had it, but doesn't help here, and it only stops half the combo. But what I do have, let's see here, I've got some Naturalizes I think are pretty safe to bring in, as well as the Engineered Plagues. Those look pretty solid. If I remember correctly, I trimmed just some of the fat. I think I trimmed the Uktabi, no, not the Uktabi Orangutan, excuse me, the Monk Realist. I certainly trimmed, and then probably some number of Horrors, maybe a Squee, and maybe the Arrogant Worms, if I remember correct. Oh, I'm sorry. I also trimmed the Bone Shredder because that card has no
Yeah.
text because it
I was about to
destroys
ask for
non-artifact,
Bone
non-black.
Shredder.
It's even possible I trimmed the Genesis, and that actually I'm positive I did
Yeah,
because that's
you
we're
get
trying to
behind that.
grind at this
Yeah.
point, and we're not grinding in this matchup. Going into game two, what I would want to be doing here is hoping to lean on my disruption package, and then allowing the creatures to beat down. Engineered Plague is great because you can name Phyrexian, and that will absolutely stop the Devourer from being able to enter the battlefield because it is a 1/1 on its base. So, pretty solid choice there. I don't have a lot of experience with this other list. Austin, you've played the Devourer list. What would you be bringing in?
I would definitely bring in that Tormod script. It deals with the zombie infestation loop very well. I would probably be bringing in probably both of those rushing rivers and the naturalizes. Going up against this Jund deck, you know that they're going to have some sort of engineered plague or something like that to stop you. So you can kind of hedge on them bringing that in, and you have to have an answer because, like you said, if that engineered plague sits on the table, your Phyrexian Devourer will never be able to survive to do its combo thing. And I think it's a pretty easy 4 to 4. You take out those defense grids; they have very little, if zero, text in this matchup, and you could just sub in those 4 cards. And I think that you'll be sitting pretty for the post-war games with that configuration.
All right, looks like we're keeping 7 again. So another pair of good hands for us. I'm on the play, of course, because I got absolutely browned on turn 3 there. But we're opening up with a Duress. Let's get a pair of Sylvan Libraries, a Sky Diamond, and 2 Tinkers.
That's quite the good starting hand, but you being able to take that Sky Diamond early slowed Jeff
Yes.
down by quite a bit. That's a good start for you.
Yes, that is a great start for me. Uh, so Jeff's got a Gemstone Mine, and what are we firing off here? It's a Cabal Therapy on those Sylvan
Ball
Libraries.
therapy. Oh man, you're really slowing him
And,
down.
and,
He's
and
gonna.
there's a Basking Root Walla. And let's get
He
those
could be
Tinkers
also
out of
looking
there.
at the other. You should also see the other card in his hand as well, but no worries.
Looks like we just did not care on that front.
No, you knew what you wanted. You just
Oh,
did. You got a 4-4-2
oh
against
yeah,
the A+B combo deck. You don't mind at all,
I knew
and you get to see
exactly
it.
what I was about there. And a
Okay, so it
duress
does look like you did bring
afterwards.
in the Pyroclasm, and he
Yes.
also brought in that Rushing River as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rushing River, absolutely the right pick there. And it's nice for me to know about that because if I do draw an Engineered Plague here, uh, I know not to just
Yeah,
count on it.
but you can look at this, you see the power of the Duress Cabal Therapy package.
Yeah.
Jeff kept a good solid 7 card hand, and now he's just playing land go with a card that at this point does nothing and a blank card. So
Yeah.
he
Jeff
just has
is
nothing going on in his side.
he's
And
absolutely in the
you just
Stone
got
Age at
this
this
wild
moment.
mongrel.
Yeah.
You got this wild mongrel beating down. You're putting on all the pressure you need to right now.
I mean, it's not a lot of pressure, but adding a basking root wall there certainly
It,
helps.
it, yes, it does. You could be attacking for a minimum of 5 right now. If you want to
Yes.
start committing some cards to the wild mongrel, you could have him dead in just a couple turns.
Yeah. Yeah. This could be a 3 turn clock.
hmm If he really wants to commit a rushing river to slow down the bleeding, you are in a great spot
Yeah.
because at that point he's still just not advancing his game plan whatsoever. And looking at his hand, I see a city of traders and a couple other things. It doesn't look like he has too much going on in the hand either.
Which is exactly where I want to be right now. Is I've disrupted him enough to feel comfortable. Now he's got to get his A plus B back, and he's lost 2 ways to get his A. And adding another grizzly bear to the board essentially. Now, I will say, not pumping with the basking root wall here is very telling that I have. I'm gonna
Yes, I
guess
was
and
going to
say
ask about that.
naturalize in hand.
Yep, you definitely want to keep those shields up. At this point, you're going to kill him in a couple turns anyways. You might as well be as safe as you can while doing that.
Now, looking at this with hindsight, it makes me wonder if I'm gonna immediately naturalize anything.
hmm
Like if there's any artifact out, just like no, we need this to stop immediately, just so Tinker isn't an option here.
He just passes the turn back. I wonder if he just has nothing going on.
Jeff forgot his ponder trigger there, but
It's
which is
important,
also
yeah.
his portent trigger. Excuse me. It's also on the wrong side of the board, but who cares? So we're smashing in for 5. Looks like we're going to pause right now. Wonder if Jeff's going to consider just using this rushing river, maybe sacrificing a land just to really stem the bleeding here. All right, so we're pumping up to 7. Okay, it looks like he's got a Devourer in his hand, I think. Is that bottom card?
I'm not able to tell right now. He's 1 mana off of casting a Devourer,
Yeah, okay.
so he would have to add another land to the board, which would then cause him to lose his City of Traders.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do think
Just
that
to
is a
run it right
Devourer in
into
his
the
hand there.
naturalize it looks like you have. So Jeff is just in a bad spot here. I don't think he has too many outs to this situation.
Yeah, getting to 8 mana if he has a fling in there. I'm positive that's a Devourer in his hand now. But getting
Okay.
up to a fling does not seem feasible after the Devourer. Because getting to 8 mana on a board where he's taking 7 this turn, no, he's cracking this Rushing River.
Looks like yeah. What he
Okay,
could have is another soul land into a Lotus Petal. That could get it for him, but then he's going to need a very 4 specific cards for that. that's not a very high
We
likelihood
got plenty of
from
time.
this
Yeah, no,
spot.
we got plenty of time.
So
I'm
it does look
actually
like he has
feeling
2 flings
generous
in
today.
hand.
Yeah, it does
So
look like Fling Devourer. So that's pretty good. I saw my hand. I have, it looks like a swamp, an engineered plague, and a naturalize. So I have been
man,
waiting for him. It looks like to cast this rushing river. So he's sacrificing to bounce 2 things. He's taking 3. He's expecting me to just jam a mongrel, but I'm just gonna slam down this engineered plague.
yeah, that's kind of the what could happen if you use your rushing river like that.
Yeah.
You answer the board, but now you have this engineered plague, and now your devourer is just completely turned off until you deal with that.
Yeah, and
The
that's
mongrel will probably just come back down next turn. If so, all you did was just delay the inevitable.
let's see here. So we're swinging. Are we pumping here? Yes, we're pumping. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to jam 1 mongrel and hold up that naturalize.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because this is lethal this turn.
Yep. With the pumped Root Walla and feeding cards to Wild Mongrel, you don't need to add any more to the board.
Yep. And looks
Yep.
like
And it looks like
Jeff
Jeff
agrees.
agrees.
And we're packing it in to go to game 3. So, all right. Looks like we've got some keepable hands here. Hopefully, I've got something aggressive. Or at least disruptive enough to not have to worry about whatever nonsense he can pull. We can see he's got an Altar of Dementia in his hand.
Looks like you're just running off on a bird's paradise.
Okay, I see a Duress in my hand there. The Naturalize. If I could slow down just a
Like a few
little
more
bit.
lands.
Yeah.
Like a Llanowar Waste and a City of Brass. I did
I
notice those, and
think I see a
you're
Daragaz's Cauldra in there as well. All right, thank you, me, in the past for putting my cards down so I don't have to watch myself continue to flick through them as the nervous habit that it always is.
Ryan Kerber would be proud.
Thanks, Kepler. You've ruined a generation of Magic players. Still the same 6 cards. Yep, 18.
So we got 2 mana.
Yep.
Mind Stone. Looks like Jeff is also liking the mana ramp as well.
Yes. Let's see here. Can you see anything in his hand other than the Altar of Dementia?
Oh, that's the only one that I saw. Maybe a City of Traders, but I guess we'll see here shortly.
Okay,
Yep.
City Traders, Mind Stone, and Portent. If I've got a, I'm hoping that I take the, no, I take the Portent. I've got the Naturalize,
Okay.
I guess.
I think that must mean you have the Naturalize in hand.
Play the Dowd, go.
You play a Wild Mongrel. Okay.
All right, yeah, I can see 3 of the 4 being the Daragaz's Cauldra, the Naturalize, and the City of Brass. I could not tell you what the 4th card. It might be another Naturalize, actually. Am I holding on to 2 of them?
That would be very good for this situation. You've got
Yes.
good pressure on the board with the Wild Mongrel and 2 pieces of interaction for his combo. Looks like he's going to play the second Mind Stone out.
Would not surprise me if he. Okay. I was about to say,
Here
wouldn't it
comes.
surprise me if he tried to draw a card here? Colorless.
There's a Caldera.
Naturalize. Yeah, we're
There goes
absolutely
the
going to
ult.
naturalize that. Smash. Discard, make it 3.
Pitching the City of Brass. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you need that much mana at this point.
Go.
You've got another Wild Mongrel. Okay.
Just a pack of dogs. Very well. He drew
Looks like I
Fling.
see a Fling and a City of Traders at Jeff's hand, so he's got one half of the combo again.
Yep. So we are
Just now
just
looking for
straight
the
up dead to
Devourer.
a Tinker. Okay. And an
It
altar.
looks
So
like
he's got
Jeff
second. B.
Jeff is going to dig
Oh,
as much as he can to find that. And there's a tinker.
and there's the Tinker. So that is all she wrote.
Yeah.
Unless I get my
One,
Force of Vigor,
two,
which
three,
doesn't
four,
even help
five.
here.
Now Jeff is a very good player. He'll see the lines here, but I think your only hope is that he's scared of
Am I dead?
something coming out of this
Show me
wild
play.
mongrel. But looks like he's just going to go for it.
Yep, and
Yep.
you can even hear in the audio. I go, "Am I dead?" Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Just flipped his hand
That's how I
and
am.
called it a day. Tabi, Guy's Cradle, and Cabal Therapy just chilling on the top there. So
I think this is a very good indication of how strong this Tinker Fling deck is. You had he got the rest, he got naturalized, and still in turn 4 he just had A plus B combo, and there wasn't a whole lot you could have done about it.
So it does look like he brought in his Phyrexian processor as well.
That's an interesting
I knew you brought that in.
bring in. But like we said, it's just a different avenue to attack against.
Yes.
Making 5/5 or 6/6 Phyrexians. It's very good in the face of a Wild Mongrel. You would have to pitch a lot of cards to keep that dog fed to fight those Phyrexian off.
Guess the question here is though, I don't know if it's that good because I can just start generating zombies and just keep that
Yeah,
thing forever blocked. However, he can still outpace me. So actually, it would probably be good. Let's see. Yep, I
yep,
called it bullshit, and yep, there we
yep.
go.
You
Pretty
Rootwall
much
and a
what I
Terran
said.
Worm.
Rootwall,
Yep.
Arrogant Worm, and the toolbox creatures that were useful.
Man, previous bin is just as smart as real time bin. Saying the exact same thing. Very nice, sir.
You know what? I'm happy to hear that I'm still in line with where I am. Let's see what he cut. He cut the. Looks like we've
I see
got defense
the defense grids.
grids and some number of chromatic spheres, which I like think's a little weird because oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say like you still want to hit your green mana. Although going down to 13 sources is probably pretty good.
Yes.
All right, well that's going to be it for this round. And we will be back in the future with more rounds of pre-modern Magic from Through the Decades in Louisville, Kentucky.